Hello, my dear little friends. I'm Rania, and I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to Rania's Little Bedtime Stories, where every story is filled with kindness, friendship, courage, and little lessons that help our hearts grow. So, snuggle up, get nice and cozy, take a deep breath, and let's begin our bedtime adventure together. At school, it was art day, and everyone in Ranya's class was busy drawing and painting. Ranya worked hard on her picture of a butterfly in a flower garden. She used bright colors and added sparkles too. When the teacher said, "Time's up," all the students gathered to see each other's artwork. Rania looked at her friend Donna's painting. It was a simple picture of a cat under a tree. Donna was quietly staring at the floor, not saying anything. Rania could see her friend felt unsure, so she smiled and said, "Donna, I really like your cat. The way you drew the eye makes it look cute and sleepy, just like your real cat." Donna's face lit up. "Really? I wasn't sure it looked nice." "It does, and the tree is my favorite part," Rania added sincerely. Later, during recess, Donna gave Rania half of her quid. "Thank you for being so kind just now. Your words made me feel braver." When Rania got home, she told Ibu what happened. "Today I made Donna smile with my words," Rania said. "That's the power of a sincere compliment," Ibu replied. "It doesn't cost anything, but it can mean everything to someone." Rania nodded. She learned that kind words, when said from the heart, can truly brighten someone's day. That was a lovely story. Every little act of kindness makes the world a happier place. Now, let's see what our next adventure has in store for us. One golden afternoon, when the sun felt like a warm coin in the sky and the breeze smelled faintly of rain that hadn't come, Risky sat beneath the school's mango tree with a book about climate change on his lap. Zara came skipping over on Kuropo. "What are you reading?" she asked, peeking upside down at the page. "About the planet," Risky replied. "It's getting hotter. Glaciers are melting and forests are shrinking." Zara frowned. "But it's not hot today." Risky smiled gently. "That's weather. It changes every day. But climate? That's what happens when you're not looking. Slowly, like a story unfolding over 100 pages." Danish, overhearing, joined in. "So what can we do?" Risky closed his book and said, "We can plant more trees, use less plastic, turn off things when we don't need them, and," he tapped his book, "share what we learn." That week, they made colorful posters. "Save water. Plant a tree, grow a future. Protect our planet. Protect ourselves." Even Chitgu smiled and stuck one on the class door. And in Rizky's quiet, thoughtful world, teaching wasn't about being loud. It was about lighting little lamps in other people's minds. I hope you're enjoying our stories. Sometimes the smallest actions can make the biggest difference. Let's listen to another wonderful story together. It was Sunday evening, and Rania was coloring quietly after dinner. Ibu called out from the kitchen. "Rania, have you packed your school bag?" Rania paused. "Not yet, Ibu. I still have time in the morning." Ibu walked over and smiled. "Do you remember what happened last Tuesday?" Rania. Yes, I forgot my water bottle, left my workbook, and almost missed the van. That's why we prepare at night, Ibu said gently, so mornings can be calm, not chaotic. So Rania put down her crayons and opened her school bag. She checked her timetable. Check mark. Math workbook? In. Check mark. English book? Packed. Check mark. Pencil case? Sharpened and zipped. Check mark. Uniform? Ironed and hanging. She even filled her water bottle and placed it in the fridge. That night she slept peacefully. No rushing thoughts, no worrying. The next morning, when her alarm rang at 6 a.m., Rania woke up smiling. Her clothes were ready, her bag was packed, and her mind felt clear. At school, she saw her friend Donna running in. I forgot my ruler and my lunchbox. Rania gave her an extra banana from her bag and said, Next time, pack before bed. It really helps. That evening, Ibu gave Rania a thumbs up. Being prepared is part of being responsible. It shows you're thinking ahead. Rania nodded proudly. She had discovered a simple secret. Success starts the night before. You're such an amazing listener. Are you ready for another adventure? Let's keep going. It was a rainy Tuesday, and Rania was excited for art class. But when she entered the classroom, she noticed her friend Evelyn sitting alone with her head down. Rania went over and sat beside her. Evelyn, are you okay? Evelyn, my cat Snowy. She ran away last night. I looked everywhere. Rania's heart sank. She knew how much Evelyn loved Snowy. I'm so sorry, Rania said. That must feel really hard. Evelyn nodded, wiping her eyes. I don't feel like drawing today. Rania thought for a moment. Then she took out her extra paper and crayons. How about we draw Snowy together? Maybe it will help you feel better. Evelyn looked up. Really? Rania nodded. We can make a big poster. Snowy under the sunshine, playing in the garden. Slowly, Evelyn picked up a crayon and smiled. Okay. They spent the whole class drawing, coloring, and even adding hearts and little fish bowls to the picture. When they finished, Evelyn said, Thank you, Rania. I feel a little better now. You're a good friend. Rania smiled and gave her a gentle hug. Whenever you're sad, I'll be here. After school, Rania told Ibu about it. I didn't know what to say at first, but I just wanted Evelyn to know she wasn't alone. Ibu smiled. That's the best kind of comfort, being there with kindness. Wow, we've already heard 4 beautiful stories together. I wonder what we'll learn in this next one. Let's find out. One evening, Rania sat with her family at the dinner table. Toki-Boo was telling a story about her childhood, how she used to ride a bicycle to the river and catch little fish with her bare hands. As Toki-Boo spoke, Rania felt excited. She wanted to tell everyone about the new game she played at school. So she interrupted loudly, Toki-Boo, today I played. But Ibu gently touched Rania's hand. Sayang, let Toki-Boo finish her story first. It's polite to listen. Rania nodded and sat quietly, her hands in her lap. Toki-Boo smiled warmly and continued. When the story ended, Rania clapped her hands. That was amazing, Toki-Boo! I didn't know you were so brave. Then she looked at Ibu. Can I share my story now? Of course, Ibu said. Rania told them all about her school day, and this time everyone listened quietly. It made her feel special. After dinner, Abba said, Rania, today you did something very kind. You listened, and that shows respect. Rania smiled. I liked hearing Tokibu's story. If I had kept talking, I would have missed the best part. Ibu hugged her. Listening is one of the most beautiful ways to show love. That night, Rania promised herself she would always listen, with her ears, her eyes, and her heart. You're doing a wonderful job listening. I hope these stories are making your heart smile. Let's enjoy another special adventure together. It was the day of the school field trip, and everyone was told to arrive by 7 a.m. sharp at the school gate. The bus wouldn't wait. The night before, Rania laid out her clothes, packed her snacks, filled her water bottle, and set 2 alarms, just to be safe. The next morning, her first alarm rang at 5:45 a.m. She stretched, prayed Subu, got ready, and had breakfast, all without being rushed. At 6:50 a.m., Rania arrived at school, cheerful and ready. The teacher smiled. You're early, Rania. Well done. Slowly, other students started arriving, but at 7:05 a.m., just as the bus doors were closing, Mishari came running. Wait! I'm not late, am I? The teacher shook her head gently. We have to go, Mishari. We reminded everyone to come early. Mishari looked disappointed as the bus pulled away. During the ride, Chitgu Ayin said, being punctual shows respect for other people's time, and it teaches responsibility. Rania thought about that. If we're late, we miss the moment. But if we're early, we enjoy it fully. After a fun day of exploring the museum and the science center, Rania told Ibu, I'm glad I didn't waste a single minute. Ibu smiled. That's the gift of being on time. It opens doors that would have otherwise stayed shut. And from that day on, Rania didn't just aim to be on time, she aimed to be early. You're such a great listener. I hope you're enjoying our stories. Here's another one. Piggy to the rescue. E.T., Bessie the bear, Froggy, Bluey dog, and Ham the piggy were best friends. They always played together, having fun and laughing together. One afternoon while playing, Bluey dog tripped and accidentally pulled Froggy's arm too hard. With a sharp snap, Froggy's hand broke right off. Panic filled the room. Oh no! Bessie the bear burst. Everyone gasped in shock, and Bessie the bear even burst into tears. Seeing everyone so frightened, Piggy quickly stepped up and helped Froggy. He calmly picked up the detached piece, aligned the plastic joints, and popped Froggy's hand back into place. Relieved, Bessie the bear wiped her tears, and Froggy wiggled her fingers with a big smile. Bluey dog apologized and promised to be more gentle in future, and the grateful toys cheered for Piggy's brave and fast action. Every story teaches us something beautiful. Let's discover today's next little lesson together. When rough play goes too far. Risky and Samil were both mischievous boys who loved playing rough and getting into silly fights. One afternoon, their playful chasing turned too rough. Samil suddenly grabbed Risky, pulled his hair, and gave him a hard pinch on the arm, making poor Risky burst into tears. Hearing the commotion, Samil's mother rushed outside. She immediately scolded Samuel for his unkind behavior and made him sit down with Risky. Hurting your friends is never okay, she reminded him, asking him to apologize right away. Feeling truly sorry for making his friend cry, Samuel looked down and murmured, "I'm sorry, Risky. I will not do it again." Risky wiped his tears and nodded. After realizing how much better it felt to be kind, Samuel shared his favorite toys, and the two boys became inseparable best friends. We've almost reached the end of tonight's adventures, but there's still another wonderful story waiting for us. Let's continue! Rania saves the party. Family and friends gathered happily at the event venue for Paxel and Max's gender reveal ceremony. Kids ran up and down the hall and playfully teasing each other. Festive music filled the air, and Rania took the microphone to sing Jodoh Lebaran, earning enthusiastic applause from the crowd. Nearby, Risky and Koyim were playing games together. Overwhelmed with excitement, Koyim wrapped his arm tightly around Risky's neck in a headlock. Thinking it was just a silly joke, Koyim laughing, while Risky smiling, even though the squeeze was actually quite hard. Rania noticed the play fighting from across the room and immediately stepped in. "Stop doing that, Koyim!" Rania scolded him. "That is dangerous, and you could really hurt Risky." Realizing his mistake, Koyim quickly let go and promised to play safely, keeping the party joyful and fun for everyone. Can you believe it? We have one last bedtime story before we say goodnight. Let's make this final adventure extra special. The Girl Who Stood Her Ground. Rania noticed Rebecca snatching books right out of Lily and Isolde's hands, leaving them startled and sad. Determined to help her friends, Rania marched right over and stood firmly. "That is not fair, Shobeka," Rania said with a clear and brave voice. "Taking things without asking is wrong. Please give back their books." Shobeka blinked, surprised by Rania's unwavering confidence. Looking at the three friends standing together, she realized her actions weren't cool or funny at all. Feeling ashamed, Shobeka slowly handed the books back to Lily and Isolde. "I'm sorry," Shobeka whispered before turning away. Lily and Isolde hugged Rania tightly, thanking her for being so brave. From that day onwards, Rania proved that kindness and standing up for others can always turn things around. Thank you for spending this special time with me. I hope today's stories made you smile, filled your heart with kindness, and inspired you to do something wonderful tomorrow. Remember, even the smallest act of kindness can make someone's day brighter. Sleep well, sweet dreams, and I'll see you again for another bedtime adventure. Good night, my dear little friends.